Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Kick ICT webinars. We are joined with Martijn from Continia, who will be showcasing our Continia's document capture solution for you today. Just a bit of housekeeping rules. The session will be recorded and we will follow up with emails after the session for you to access the recording if you desire. We have a chat box and questions in the top right corner. So if there are any questions throughout the webinar, please fill those in and we'll get to your questions at the end of the session. So I'll now hand over to Martijn and we'll get the show on the road. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Cameron, for the introduction. Good morning, everybody. Like Cameron said, my name is Martin, and I'll be taking care of the presentation today. We have a series of webinars coming up, and this is the first one together. We're going to talk about document capture today, our solution for scanning, registering, and archiving of your invoices and credit notes. I'm going to do a short PowerPoint presentation, and then I'll switch over to a live Business Central system and basically show you how the solution works from beginning to end. Like Cameron said, you can ask any questions, pop them in the chat, and I'll answer them at the end of the webinar. If I cannot answer them, I will get back to you via Cameron or Eileen via mail. But for now, let's start. My name is Martin. I live in the Netherlands, but I've been working in the UK for a very long time, almost 10 years now. And together with my colleague Tracy, we're both responsible for this market. First, let me tell you something about Continia. Continia is an ISV. We create software add-ons for Business Central from Microsoft, and all of our solutions are around the automation of the finance processes. The most important part is that we're fully integrated into your Business Central. That means that for Kik, it's easy to install and maintain the software in your environment. For you, it's easy to learn and also to use afterwards because it will follow a lot of Business Central flows. We became quite big in the 30 years that we're active. Worldwide, we have more than 22,000 customers using our software, and those customers use more than 34,000 solutions. And this number is growing a lot because there's a huge demand for automation, and especially when it is fully integrated into Business Central. I'm going to show you document capture today, but we also have 4 other solutions. I will not dive too deep in them, but basically we have expense management. With this solution, your colleagues will get an app on their mobile phone. They can take a photo of a receipt. The AI captures all of the details of that receipt, and it will be sent to Business Central for further processing. Besides expenses, we can also do mileage claims, per diems. We can bundle them together in reports if you're on a certain trip. We have a connection with Visa, MasterCard, and American Express if you use corporate credit cards. So yeah, a very handy solution. Then we have document output. With document output, we will be able to send out your documents from within Business Central batch-wise with a standardized email that you've created. So with the press of a button, you can send out all of your invoices, your reminders, your statements, your order confirmations, remittance advices. Super easy to set up, and it will really make your life a lot easier. We have a solution called Continia Banking. Actually, this was the first solution that Continia brought on the market, but we did that in Scandinavia. This is where our company originates. Now we're moving into the UK market as well. Basically, we are connecting your Business Central to the banks. You will be able to pay directly from within Business Central instead of downloading a file and upload it into your bank. The HSBC screen will open in your Business Central and you do the payment straight from there. We're not done yet. We will also be able to do the reconciliation part. So we can upload the statement automatically from your bank and do a reconciliation against your bank account ledger entries. Last but not least, Continia Finance. Accountancy is not sexy, but it is very important for the finance departments. And basically, we've created a toolbox with a lot of modules that you can use that will make your life easier on a day-to-day basis. Microsoft scrapped a lot of handy features. We brought them back, and we also added some more. The nice thing about Continia Finance is we have a free Essentials module. In this module, you will get 8 features that, there's no catch. It is really free. You can install it tomorrow and start using it. And then if you like, you can also add paid modules that are completely separate and activate those as well. Of course, if you want to see any of these solutions, please contact your Kik or your representative at Kik, and we will arrange that for you. Now let's move on. The Kik partnership. We have been partners for a long time. I think I was there in the beginning as well, 10 years ago. I was young, had a lot of hair, no children, so life was very good. In those 10 years, Kik became one of the biggest and better partners within the UK. We have different levels of partners, and Kik is on the highest tier and belonging in the top 1% within the UK. Working together for more than 10 years, and in those 10 years, we've accomplished a lot. Maybe some of you already use our software, but at the moment we have 58 customers from Kik using our software, and those customers are using an impressive 139 Continia solutions. And the last point, invested in partnership, and I think that is very important to know. We really have a partnership with Kik, where they are not a vendor of us, or we really work together. Kik invests in a lot of training. They go to all of our in-person trainings, which are held quarterly somewhere in the UK, to get their staff trained up and how to say that, get their knowledge up to speed. Because now with the new versions coming out, AI being incorporated, things are moving fast, and we're very glad that Kik keeps investing in training into their staff. Staff also gets certified by courses that we do online and in their own time. And we're always happy to return the favor by coming to the Kik events and joining the customer events, but also doing webinars like these demonstrations. So for you, Kik is a very good and reliable Continia partner. Now, the solution that we're all here for today, document capture, it is one of our biggest solutions within Continia. And basically with this solution, we will be able to scan, register and archive your incoming documents. And we mainly focus around the incoming invoices and credit notes. The invoices will come in, and then our AI OCR will capture the data that is on the invoices, and you will be able to tell the system how do we want to process those invoices. We can basically process any type of invoice that your vendor sent to you. Think of simple cost invoices, but we can also do order matching what the vendor invoiced you, if that matches with what you've set up within your purchase order. We then, of course, have an approval workflow, which can be done within Business Central, but we also have a web approval portal, which allows you to approve on your mobile phone, on your iPad, basically anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet connection. We keep adding more functionality to document capture, and one of our newer ones is purchase contracts. So purchase contracts is basically a purchase order for a cost invoice. I think that's the best way to describe it. So you will pay rent for your office. What you can do, you can create a contract, call it rent for my office. You will say, I expect £1,000 a month. This contract gets reviewed by an approver. It gets approved, and then a contract becomes active. The landlord invoices you £1,000. Document capture will match that to the contract. If it's within the tolerances that you've set up, the invoice can then skip the approval and be posted immediately. Of course, when there's a discrepancy, the landlord invoices you more than £1,000, the system will block it, and then the accounts payable team and the approvers need to take action. Nice feature that we're seeing being used more and more often. The last point, the secure archive. We apply to, how do you say that, local legislation, how to store your documents. We use Azure Blob Storage to store your documents in a Microsoft data center of your choosing. This will probably be in the UK for GDPR reasons. And also good to know, the archive is always owned by yourself. And Continia does not, how do you say that? We do not own it, and we do not do anything with it. It is really yours. How does the document flow look on paper? And this is the last slide before we move on to the live demo. Basically, on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see the incoming documents, and those documents can come in 3 different ways. One, you receive invoices via the post, of course. You put them on the scanner, you press the button, and they'll be sent to Business Central. The second method, which is the most common, is an email address. You can create an email address like invoices@yourcompanyname.co.uk. You ask your vendors to send the invoices to that email address. Document Capture monitors it and downloads them automatically into Business Central for you. The third method is quite new. Within Europe, we have a transition going on from PDF files to e-invoicing, sending your documentation through e-delivery networks. And for example, Peppol is something that you might have heard. That is one of the bigger networks out there. And we as Continia will be able to process those documents as well. And with our software, with Document Capture, we can receive them. And we have a solution called Document Output. We will also be able to send them. And the nice thing is that Continia is what we call a broker. And basically, we connect your company to the e-delivery network and make sure that you can both send and receive them. This is not happening a lot in the UK yet, unless you work with European customers or maybe with the UK government or NHS. But the UK will be transitioning as well. We're following this closely, and the UK government expects that the switch will happen in 2029. Sounds far away, but things move quite fast. But for you to know, if you use our software, you are future-proof, and we'll be able to help you with this. On the right-hand side, this is actually what I'm going to show you in the demonstration. You're going to tell the system once how the document needs to be processed. It will be registered. We can approve it, post it, and it will be archived, all within Business Central. Now, this was the theory. Now let's go over to the fun stuff. Let me switch to Business Central. I need to quickly re-log in because it paused. Bear with me. Up. Oh, I think I copied the wrong password, my bad. And up. There we go. So Document Capture is fully integrated into your Business Central. That means that you do not have to open up a separate application in the morning. You open up Business Central and our software is over here. As the accounts payable team, you'll be able to select a role center. And in this role center, you can see a couple of things. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see how many documents came in. And those can come in via the scanner, email, or via an e-delivery network. And they come in here on a constant basis. Just before this webinar, I emailed some invoices to my demo email address. You can add multiple invoices into one email. You press send, and about 10 seconds later, you see them coming in over here. Next to that, we will see purchase approval. With Document Capture, we can approve the invoices, and in the role center, an approver can see how many documents he or she has to approve. And the same goes for the credit notes, and you can see the purchase contracts that you've created. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on the button Ready to Register, and a new screen will open. And this is basically the screen where the accounts payable team will process the invoices from now on. On the right-hand side, they get to see the original invoice. You can zoom in and zoom out and scroll through it. On the top left, you have your to-do list. In the middle, the data that the system captured. And at the bottom, you can see the comments. So basically, you're going to set up each vendor one time, tell the system how you want to process it, and next time it will go in automatically. The setting up sounds like a lot of work, but it is actually quite easy because with the AI, the system captures almost all of the details from the invoice, and you basically do the final touch saying, this is a cost invoice that needs to be put on general ledger account A, or I want to match it against my POs with these criteria. And I'm going to give you some examples today. I'm going to start off very simple with a cost invoice, and then I'll move on to the more like order matching. If we look here in the middle, in the left column field, you will see all the fields that Document Capture is searching for. These are the most common fields that can be found on an invoice. However, you as a company can fully adjust this to your liking. And you can do this without the help from Kik, a developer, or Continia. You can, for example, you can add all of your dimension fields that you have. If you have multiple amounts on an invoice, you can capture those as well. We have security fields that check the bank account on the PDF to what is set up within your Business Central. But if you've created a bespoke field with Kik, you can also add that to here. And like I said, no development needed. And the AP team will do this themselves. In the second column, value, the software tries to fill in as much as it can for you. It is really good. However, we do recommend that you check it the first time because it can make a mistake. I do not want to lie. It is good, but it can make a mistake. If it does make a mistake, you will correct it once, and next time it will not make that same mistake again. Over here, for example, when I select the invoice number, you see it highlights it on the PDF file, making it easy and convenient for you to see what the software did. The system found the invoice date, it found the due date, and it validates the due date with your payment terms. If they do not match, it will give you a warning message like the one here on the bottom left. You can also choose for document capture to always honor your payment terms. We have a contact person, no order number in my first example. The currency code is left blank because it's a local currency within your Business Central. You will be able to, if you get an amount in a foreign currency, that will be displayed over here. The system will capture all of the amounts. We validate all of the amounts. We can handle multiple VAT amounts on one invoice, reverse VAT, no VAT, high VAT, low VAT, doesn't matter, we can do it. Because this is a cost invoice, the system asks for a general ledger account number. That's this red warning over here. Nice that we're fully integrated into your Business Central. We will be able to open up your general ledger account list like you're used to. You can select one or you can type it in. I will select it and the system will ask me, do you want to set this up as a default for this vendor? I will say yes for now, and then also that message disappears. The system found a posting description. You can adjust this to your liking, of course. And last, document capture automatically recognizes if this document is an invoice, credit note, or prepayment. And now we set up the first vendor. I can do this in less than a minute. After a couple of days of training from Kik, you will also be able to do this. It is really not that difficult. I'm going to register it now, and then it will become a registered purchase invoice within Business Central. The screen will probably also look a bit familiar to you. This is where you would normally type in your invoices manually. We have now done that for you. And of course, from now on, you get to see the invoice all throughout Business Central from now on. I'm going to send it for approval, and I will later explain the different approval flows. But what is good to know is that all the steps that I'm doing manually right now, registering, sending it for approval, this can all be automated at your own pace per vendor. But yeah, I cannot talk that fast, so I want to show it to you, but please know that you can. Another very big part of document capture, and really one of our unique selling points, is our order matching module. Document capture can match your invoices in 3 different ways to your purchase orders within your system. One, we can match on a total amount level. Document capture checks the purchase order is £1,000, the invoice is £1,000, it matches, and then it will go through. The only downside of this way of matching is that you do not know if you ordered a Lenovo laptop or a Dell laptop. It will just purely look at the amount. Method number 2 is line level matching. Document capture, if I look at the example on the screen, can check, did we receive 20 lamps for £25 and 5 whiteboards for £700, making your match very accurate. But besides making it accurate, it will also allow you to do partial matching, match multiple orders on one invoice to multiple orders within the system. You can set up tolerances per supplier and even do that on a line level. It will really give you a lot of extra functionality. Method number 3 is manual matching. Yeah, why do you want to match manually? Well, preferably not, of course, but let's say a vendor forgets to put up an order number, then document capture is not going to guess for you. In my demo, I'm also going to match manually because I want to show it to you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the button called Match Lines. And basically what we see over here on the right-hand side is the original invoice. we get to see all of the orders within Business Central for this particular vendor. To make it a bit easier, I can say filter on order number, and it will only show me the orders that are found on this particular invoice. This information here on the left-hand side is really your system with your dimensions coded to it, everything. And now I'm going to match the invoice against the PO. I press the button perform match, and now we can see it matched the two together. This is a demo. Demos are meant to be perfect, so that's why it's 100% match. In real life, that will not always happen. I know that. Then the difference will be shown here in this column. The line will not be made bold, but it will be made red instead, so that you can see the difference of where the difference is. If I go one step back, the system will also give clear messages on what it did. In this case, it's the perfect outcome saying it's fully matched, but it can also say it's partially matched, multiple orders are matched, not matched because our goods were not received yet, etc. Now, I'm going to register this document now, and I'm going to send it for approval. What is important to know, this matching will really save you a lot of time. And if you want to calculate how much time it will initially save you, if you look at your invoices that you match against your purchase orders, how many percent matches 100% the first time? Is that 30, 40, 50%? Those invoices you will not have to touch anymore. So you can probably calculate the time saving. One more invoice really quickly before I move on to the approvals. Document capture is very good at capturing lines of invoices. Doesn't matter if there are 3 lines, 50 or 100, it will just continue on capturing. Let me show you how. And this is a nice feature of AI. At the bottom, you can see here lines. And if I now tell document capture, use AI to capture the lines of this particular invoice, without you having to type, it will capture all of the lines. We do this a lot in the retail business where they get invoices 10, 15 pages long. We can capture the information really easy. We can, of course, match this now against the purchase order, but we can also treat it as a cost invoice, saying I want to split out these costs over different GL accounts. You can do that. You can say this London chair goes to general ledger account A, and I want the Paris chair to go to general ledger account B. Besides coding it to a GL account, you can also code it to an item number, a resource, a fixed asset, a charge item. Yeah, you can basically code it how you want it to be. And the system will be able to remember this for you. So the next time you order a London chair, it can put it on general ledger account 31010 for you. I will register this document now, and then we get an invoice with 3 lines instead of 1. And I'm going to send it for approval. I know this is all going pretty fast, but that's because of time. If you want, we can show you this on a more relaxed pace and go more in depth on a one-to-one demo that you can schedule with Kik. But for now, this is what I wanted to show, how to set up document capture. It is not difficult, as you can see, but it is important that you do this correctly the first time. The nice thing is that you can do this in your test environment, and then you can move everything from test to live, so that when you do go live, you do not have to worry so much about the invoices being processed. We now go to the approval. The approval can happen in 2 different places, one within Business Central and one within our web approval portal. The web approval portal allows you to approve on your mobile phone, on your iPad, basically anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet connection. We have several approval flows. For example, we can set up fixed approvers per vendor. Vendor number 1 will be going to you and me together, and vendor number 2 to you alone. We can also set up that we give approvers a limit, saying I can approve up to £500. If it's below that amount, I'm the only approver. If it exceeds that amount, it goes to my supervisor, who can approve £1,000. And if it exceeds his level, it will go to his manager, and she can approve up to £5,000, etc. You can build in these layers, basically. We can also do approval based on dimensions, for example, your cost centers. So it is very flexible. Approvers will get a notification via email that they have something to approve. And you can schedule that email to come in once a day or once every 2 days, whatever frequency works within your organization. People will click on a link, and it will either open up the web approval portal like I just did, or it will open up Business Central, depending on what type of approver you are. This is how the web approval portal looks like. You get an overview of the invoices that you need to approve. You can look up in the archive, what did I approve last week? If an approver is enjoying a nice holiday, they can set up an out of office and the invoices will be forwarded to somebody else within the organization. If I click on an invoice, you get to see the invoice on the right-hand side, and you can zoom in and zoom out and scroll through it. Next to that, you can add comments and attachments. What is important is that we can, we will log the whole approval process from beginning to end so that you, but also the accountants later on, can have a look what happened to this particular invoice. On the left-hand side, some details of the invoice, the flow that is taken through your organization, and down below, we can see the lines. And you can even give approvers permissions to make changes to the lines. And you can go quite far with these permissions on what they can and cannot do. On the top left, the approver can approve the document. They can reject that document with a comment. Otherwise, the accounts payable team doesn't know what went wrong. They can forward it in multiple ways, and they can put it on hold if there's a query. If I approve it, it will automatically go to the next one to speed things up. We're in a good mood today, so we will approve everything. But yeah, we can do a lot more with approvals, reminder emails, permissions, what you can and cannot do, overviews of where all the invoices are. So yeah, please know that we can do that. In Business Central, the approvals are the same, only look different. They look like Business Central. You get to see the invoice on the right-hand side, your to-do list on the top left, the lines in the middle, the comments down below, and at the top we can approve, reject with a reason, forward in multiple ways, put on hold if there's a query. I will approve it, and also here it will be finished. Now the invoices come to the final stage, the release stage, and released invoices can be posted. You can do this one by one. You can do this in a batch, or you can even automate it, saying every day at 6 o'clock, all the invoices with status released will be posted. Once the invoices are posted, document capture basically stops. It will then continue on with the process that you have set up with Kik. I assume it will go to your banking module, and eventually you will pay your vendors. I'm going to post them now. I need to remove this filter, and now it posts them like you're used to. And then we have completed the process from beginning to end. A quick recap. Let's say you start using this software. Document Capture will monitor an email address for you and download the invoices automatically into Business Central. There, it will apply the logic that you have set up for this particular vendor. It can match it against a PO, capture multiple lines, treat it as a cost invoice. If everything is okay, it can be forwarded to the approvers automatically based on the flow that you've designed. The approvers will get a notification that they have something to approve. They will do this either in a web portal or within Business Central. Once this is done, it will come back here to the finance team for a final check, and then you can post it manually, but preferably automatically, of course. And this should save you and the accounts payable team a lot of time getting all of the invoices processed. Now, the final part of this demonstration, what I want to show you, but it's actually quite important. How do you find documents back? Like I said, your documents will be stored on your side, but you will access them from within Business Central. And one way of searching is called document search. Basically, every invoice that is scanned with document capture is fully text searchable. So I remember we bought some chairs last year, but I do not know where. I can type in, for example, London chair, and then it finds every invoice with that word on it, and you get a preview of the invoice on the right-hand side. You can also open up the document card, basically showing you what data was captured on that particular day. Of course, the original PDF file, if you needed to send it to somebody or download it. And we can even show you the email where the invoice came in with. So this is a very easy way of searching documents, but it's not the only way. Everywhere where the invoice touches something in Business Central, you will be able to see it. So you can, for example, see it on the posted purchase invoices card. You can see it on the vendor card, the chart of accounts, the VAT entries, anywhere. Let me give you an example. If I go to the chart of accounts, which is a standard Business Central page, I search for a general ledger account and I click on the balance. What it now does on the standard general ledger entries, it will show you a preview of the invoice on the right-hand side, making it very nice to work with for the accounts payable team. Now, this is what I wanted to show you today on document capture, one of the fastest demos I've ever done. Hopefully it gave you a good idea of what the software can do for you, but trust me, and I promise you, it can do a lot more, and we would love to show you this in a more personalized demo. But yes, it is one of our most popular solutions. It is growing, still growing a lot. Again, mostly because we're fully integrated into Business Central. Easy for Kik to install, easy for you to learn. Because we're in the Microsoft App Store, Microsoft forces us to create at least 2 new releases per year when they do their new Business Central releases. So we do the same. With AI, new functionalities are being added every 6 months and making your experience better and better. I can name 10 more reasons why the software is good, but I'll leave it for now. And like I mentioned before in the PowerPoint, Kik is one of our bigger partners in the UK, implemented this many times. So you will not be a guinea pig. I think that is good to know in software land.
Definitely. Martin, thank you so much for your demo.
Of course.
And thank you so much for being such a good partner. It is very much a solution that is very popular among our Dynamics base, and definitely follow up with your account manager if you would like to see a one-to-one more custom. Because I'm aware this is a small snippet, Martin.
Yes.
So, yeah, I thank you for kind of shortening it down. But we have had a few questions. The main one being around licensing and what's the required licensing for the document capture solution.
Yes. So we're talking about Business Central today, but the actual software also works on Dynamics Nav and Business Central on premise. If you're on Nav or Business Central on premise, you will purchase a subscription license, and the subscription license is based on the number of full users that you have in your Microsoft license and the number of companies where you would like to use the software in. In Business Central SaaS, it's a bit different. We do not look at users. We do not look at companies. We look at the number of documents that you process in a month and modules that you would like to activate. If you go to our website, www.continia.com, we have a pricing calculator that you can use to estimate your monthly cost. Of course, Kik will also be able to help you with this. But if you go here to document capture, you can say, I process around 270 documents in a month, and I want to use order matching. That would be £130 in a month. And we calculate this on actual usage.
Yeah, definitely. How does it work with, in terms of the approvals, Martin? Do you need to see for the different levels of approval? Do you need to buy extra licenses for Business Central for those people to be able to approve? Yeah.
Very good question. Yes. However, you would need to have a team member license or a limited license when you're on Dynamics Nav to do the approvals. This is a cheap variant of the full user license. It will cost a couple of pounds a month. Kik can inform you how much. I do not know at the top of my head, but it's a couple of pounds, and this will allow the approver to do the online approval. And this is because we touch Microsoft data, and Microsoft enforces this.
Got you. Another one's coming. Can multiple people approve an invoice? I know there's different tiers within the approval. Is there, I'm thinking, for this question, maybe say the invoice approval's on holiday, something like this, how robust is that approval process?
Of course. So you can set up different approval flows based on a tiered structure, based on a limit, for example, or you can set up fixed approvers per vendor, but you can also do it by dimension. Let's say cost center. If it's on line number 1, cost center A is for you, you will approve that one, and cost center B is from me, then I will approve that one. If an approver goes on holiday, they can set up an out of office, and then the approval will be forwarded to somebody else within the organization. And of course, the approval administrator will, select the replacement if a person goes on holiday, because you don't want people just to go back and forth with approvals, because then things can be susceptible to fraud, I think you would call it. If the user went on holiday and forgot to set up their out of office, this will happen, of course. The finance team can also enable this for their colleagues, and then the invoice will be sent to the person that is not on holiday.
Brilliant. I think that's all of the questions covered for today's session, Martin. Thank you so much for your demo and time again.
More than welcome.
We do have, for everybody that's tuned into this one, we will be looking at expense management next Wednesday at 11 a.m. So yeah, we'll come back here next Wednesday, and we'll see expense management in action. And thank you again, Martin.
Looking forward to it, and any questions, just let us know. We'll be happy to help, and have a nice day.
Thank you again. And for anybody tuned in, if this is something that looks like it's for you, just get in contact with your account manager. Thank you again, everyone, and have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.